What is going on, rock and roll and country music fans? And when I say rock and roll, I mean specifically metalheads. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing another episode of Tin Roof right here. This one's going to be kind of short. I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. And also, I know the view's a little different. Not my favorite angle, but it's what I have to work with because I have no idea where my tripod is. Whenever we brought stuff in from my Jeep, from Mancation, which is a thing we do at church for all of us guys to get away, although this time it really wasn't a getaway. It was more of a come have a meal at the church building because we are getting thousands of gallons of rain dumped upon us. It's been a wet one, but we roasted a hog. Let's talk about a hog cook, shall we? So, got to cook a hog. Learned a lot. Cooked it on a barbecue pit. And had to really do a lot of learning very quickly. Spoiler alert, the pig turned out really well. But it was definitely a fun cook. And it's so funny. Like, I get done with a cook that I have on my list for the year, and I'm like, okay, what's the next one? And it's a fun way to look at it. And I was thinking about this earlier today, actually. Like, I liked cooking, and was just like, we'll film a few cooks, like ones that I really want to do or whatever. And I really wasn't headlong into it. And now, I'm really pushing my cooks and really trying to film a ton of cooks and trying to get a bunch of that kind of stuff out there. And I've got several cooks on my phone that I've recorded that I need to get out there. I just released a meatloaf cook yesterday. We've hit 100 subscribers here on YouTube, and it was funny. I hadn't really thought about if I ever hit enough subscribers to where I would get the little YouTube plaque, which obviously I'm not close. I can't even remember how many you gotta get. I think it's 25,000 or something crazy. But a young boy at the Mancation asked me what I would do if I did get one. He actually specifically asked what, or if I had gotten one, and I hadn't gotten one, obviously, because we're only at 100 subscribers, which I'm so thankful for. It's taken a long time to get to 100, and I'm very happy and thrilled to be at 100, and I am so thankful to think that there's 100 people that get on YouTube to support me and to watch my content creating. That means more than a paycheck from YouTube or a trophy from YouTube ever could. But I started thinking about, if this world is crazy enough for me to ever have 25,000 followers, what would I do to celebrate that? And I've come up with an idea, and I'm going to keep it under my hat for now because obviously we're not even close. But if I ever get to that mailbox one day and I open it up and there is a YouTube plaque in there, we're gonna do something cool. But that's all I can say for right now. Moving on from that, though, back to cooking. I've got several cooks planned, especially with Cinco de Mayo coming up. I want to do some specific Mexican style dish, Hispanic style dishes, however you want to say it, and really looking forward to doing that. I want to do a pork butt, kind of like meat church style that they did, but we might snake method it because I've got quite a bit of wood right now. I've got a lot of chips that somebody just gave me. Shout out my homie Jordan, and I've got a bunch of wood. Shout out my buddy Matt, who I've shouted out before in a cooking video because I had his wood on my kettle grill. And I tell you what, charcoal cooking might be one of my favorites. Although cooking with wood after roasting that hog was awesome. And we're going to be doing a fire pit here at our house, so I might do a short with that, but I also think I'll do like a long video of that, because it's been quite the challenge, quite the it's a lengthy process studying what I want to do, because I want to make sure that it is extremely adaptable, as well as I mean, it needs to be adaptable, it needs to be effective, it needs to be cost effective. I want even cooks, which obviously, like, you're messing with fire. In a live fire is a totally different animal than, a pellet grill. Like, pellet grills are easy. Like, that's the easiest thing I've done, is like when it comes to cooking, because like I've struggled with frying, like trying to get the batter right. I've struggled with briskets. Thankfully, hog meat is so forgiving, because like that pig turned out fantastic, and mop sauce goes a long way. I like mop sauce. I won't use it every time I cook. It's not going to be one of the things that I go to. I wrapped a pork butt for the first time in forever, and I tell you what, mop sauce, guys, if you're not using it, highly recommend adding it to your list of methods, because wrapped that pork butt, and it was like wrapping it and cooking it that way, it was holding on to all of that mop sauce that I had put on it, and I had put a fair amount of mop sauce on it. It was like once I wrapped it, it was like it condensated and released all of that, and it actually filled up the pans. So like we had a 59-pound pork pig on there, and then we had 2 pork butts on there as well. And like whenever I wrapped that pork butt, it just like released, both of them did, just released all of that juice. Not to the point where they were dry. They were still so moist and so tender, but they were just holding on to so much juice, it was keeping them cool. And then it was like once they got wrapped and got a little bit hotter, it was like just sweat, just whoosh, coming out. It was impressive. Mop sauce is very cool because of how, like, it works so much different than just a spritz, and how much of a difference it makes is absolutely crazy. But I've got another couple of recipes of mop sauce in mind as well. So we've talked barbecue a lot. Let's talk music. And like I said, this episode is going to be pretty short. So Sleep Token released a new one, Caramel, and big fan. What they're doing with this album is like they're keeping on their Sleep Token signatures, right? But they're making things different. They're changing it up. They're making it unique still. And that is the key thing whenever we're talking about Sleep Token, is how unique they continue to stay. And hopefully they stay the course, because their stuff's awesome. But then we also had Cody Jinks dropped a new song, Snakebit, which is wonderful. Oh, we got new Old Dominion, which honestly, Old Dominion is one of my favorites, as far as like something that is newer, because they do have that like traditional-ish sound to them. So I will definitely be listening to that. Not working Friday, I really didn't have a chance to listen to a ton of stuff. But as soon as I got in the car, I knew I needed to check out a couple of songs. So I listened to Caramel, I listened to Snakebit, and big fans. But Old Dominion's got a new song out, so I will be checking that out. Ooh, Lainey Wilson's got a new song out. Definitely will be listening to that as well. Man, there's some good ones out there. Clay Street Unit, they actually had like a full album drop, or like an EP drop earlier this year, and it looks like they're dropping more. Yeah, because that one had the fish on it, and that was released. Oh, and they released one after that too. So early 2025 they dropped, let's see, that was January 24th, they dropped Introducing Clay Street Unit. It was an EP with 3 songs on there. And Engine Trouble, Tired of Being Tired, and 1200 Miles. Nope. Yep, 1200 Miles. And they're really, really good. And then they just released a new song called Where Have You Gone that I will be checking out, because they're a pretty good group. Not quite Red Clay Strays level, I would say, but they are quite good. And then wrapping up on the countryside, Adrian Nunez has a new album out. I'll have to check that out. This band Parmalee, Fell in love with a cowgirl. Sorry, two totally different things there. Fell in love with a cowgirl. I'll have to check that out. Tell you what, this album of Warren Zevers is just constantly staying up at the top 3: Lapse, Lies, and Betrayal. And honestly, I wasn't going to count it because like part of the album was released last year, but he said something about it being like a work, like a project thing. And the way he worded it and whatnot whenever he was in the interview that he did with Kelly Clarkson kind of has me potentially changing my mind. Ryan Hurd's Midwest Rock and Roll album, highly recommend. I thought that it turned out really, really well. I definitely I would say get into some of these new albums and stuff that are coming out. And matter of fact, next week is the one that I really have been looking forward to that is high on my list, and that is Mark Morton's Without the Pain. That one coming out next week is just going to be so much fun. So highly recommend checking into that one. Now, on to metal. We've talked about Sleep Token and their new one that came out, Carmel. But looks like we've got new stuff from Machine Head out, as well as Candlemass. Volbeat has dropped a new one. Deaf Heaven, is that more new stuff, or is that from their album? Because right now I'm looking at singles. So Lonely People with Power came out. Okay, so I think that was off of that album, which honestly is a pretty good album. If you like that death metal style, you will definitely like their sound. They're more black metal, but if you like black metal, death metal type stuff, it would be right up your alley. I thought that it was pretty good. But let's see. I think that Igor song's been around for a minute too, hasn't it? Let me look. Whoops, wrong button. So I was trying to go to artist, but it's kind of being a pain. No, that came out on Thursday, actually. No, Friday. Came out on Friday. Igor has dropped a new single, ADHD. Highly recommend checking. Well, I can't say I highly recommend checking it out, but I would say check it out. Their stuff's okay. I've listened to them a few times before. Would I say they're one of my favorites? Maybe not, but they're a good one to listen to every once in a while. So, as far as new albums go, Arch Enemy is still riding high. Architect's album is still riding high. Oh, new Meshuggah? Or is that like a remix? Oh, it's a remaster. That's okay. That's what I was wondering. Because I was like, the cover of the album looks familiar. Under Oath has dropped a new album, which I'm a little confused about because I thought that they were supposed to be more like a Christianish band, but there's several explicit songs on here. However, there's a handful that I'll have to check out because they are not. So really looking forward to that. Oh, also, pretty sure Employed to Serve's new album comes out next week. 25th. I keep forgetting whenever it's supposed to come out, but really looking forward to that thing because it's like with Atonement, like Atonement is a banger and definitely a candidate for metal single of the year. Just trying to check a couple more things out real quick before we wrap it up, which we are getting close. Yeah, I think we're pretty well there. A couple of people left bands or what have you here this past week. I can't recall any new tours being announced this week. I was trying really hard to stay on top of everything, as well as like all the other stuff that I had going on to get through the week. But man, it was a wild week as far as just enjoyment wise. Hopefully you guys have a good week coming up. Hopefully it's a fast week. We are only at Monday, however, but it's time to get things started. Let's kick it off. Let's do it right. Let's listen to some new music. Watch some racing if that's one of your things to help get you through the week. Come back here and watch some cooking videos. Watch/listen to my other podcast, Callous Hands. Thank you so much for your support. Can't believe we are at 100 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being awesome. Y'all have a good one, and we will talk to you later under this tin roof. Haha.